our trailers department guy, Walter, wore them, actually, on the outside of his jeans.
I'd like to see that.
So would I.
I'll Twitter the picture. Will do.
We got 15 minutes left, folks.
Thank you. And the very, very back.
You guys were talking about how you sometimes have your voices blow out, but don't you guys have deadlines to making stuff? What do you do when that happens?
When your voice goes out?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the production has to just push back. I mean, there's not a lot they can do. You know, I had just booked a original cartoon in November when I lost my voice, and they said, well, why don't you just come in for the first session, you know, we'll see what happens if it sounds that different. And I get into the studio and I'm like, there's just nothing coming out. They're like, okay, well, go home, get some rest. I'm like, thank you. So it was just like 2 weeks, and then I went back in and redid it.
Sometimes when you, like when I lost my voice for Holic, I would lose my voice sometimes. And there are other roles to record. There are other side characters, Wallace stuff that you can record, episode reviewing. There's things to do. The engineer can clean the episodes. So there's stuff to do. As long as like for 2 weeks, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Usually when I lose my voice, it's for a couple days, and then I'm okay to come in again. So Border Patrol.
You're talking to me now.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna regret asking this, Michelle, but in Yuki Naga's voice, can you answer what do you think about that group of 8 episodes that I can't refer to by name? It's the freaking Endless 8. What do you think of
What do I think about which episodes?
that? The freaking Endless 8.
Oh.
No one likes it, but still, please answer.
Oh.
Yeah, Yuki Naga's voice, please.
Well, I guess there's really nothing we can do. We just have to keep going through and through and through. Yeah, I gotta tell you, that really was like, oh, really? You gotta be kidding me again?
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
I know.
Did you two lose your voices like more frequently when you first started, or like did it start to like die down?
I've always had issues with laryngitis, so for me it's kind of been ongoing. It just depends on the season. Like if it's flu season and I get sick, I usually go down for a week or two, you know, regardless of what I'm doing vocally.
For me, when I first started, I did because I was teaching theater arts for middle school at the time, and also my schedule was much more hectic because I would teach, go into record, and then I was also running my theater company at the same time. So I would work till 3 a.m., wake up at 6:30, go to school, teach all day, voice, theater. So I would lose my voice, and I got really scared because it was doing Suzuka. And that was my first lead role there. And I was really worried that they would replace me. And so I was really, really nervous. I was making all these phone calls because I had just replaced somebody else in something. So I was like, it can happen. And so I lost it more at the beginning. But now I take more care of my voice now and my hearing. So I'm the Nancy boy that's in the club with like the big earplugs. They're not that big, they're about this big. But no, they're not. They're like that big. But yeah, when I go to concerts and stuff, your hearing, you need your hearing. And so like I put the earplugs in, and like people are looking and mocking, and then I kill them later. But I mean, it's fine for the time being. Hey, I'm like, hey, I gotta go in the booth tomorrow. I don't know what you're going to be doing, but I've got to do this, so, that type of thing.
10 minutes.
Thank you.
Yes, this bunny ears.
This is for both of you. If you could play any anime character, like if you could voice them, who would you voice?
I don't know. I I mean, I love what I'm doing so much right now. It's like I can't really wrap my head around anything else, you know? Sometimes I wish, like, I always think it'd be fun, like some of the the stuff that the guys get to do, that the girls never get to do would be fun, you know? But that's really, I'm happy with what I got.
I would expand that into just animation in general, and I would want to be Ariel.
Oh God!
This stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm a Todd? Todd has everything. And I want my dad to have a trident.
Want to live under the water too?
You know,
Undersea in Atlantis?
half the month under, half the month on top, yeah.
Like Florida?
Yeah.
Like Florida?
Do you guys actually watch anime outside of your work, or not really? No.
No.
It's hard because we're doing it, you know, sometimes 40+ hours a week, and so when we have downtime, you know, I equate it to like my mom. My mom's a doctor. When she comes home from work, she doesn't whip out her surgery tools. It's like, Todd, come, you know. I know. So it's kind of the same thing. It's almost like, it's not that we don't like it, and I recognize that there are wonderful titles out there to see. But it just is that when you've got downtime, you need to do other things.
Yeah, you got to take care of your personal business and, you know, other stuff.
I've got to work on adjusting to the fact that I am now Michelle.
And I am now Todd.
There's a lot of Social Security forms you got to fill out. Name change.
I wonder if I'm going to be able to get back over the border.
Oh! He's from Toronto, but I don't know where they live now. Let me ask. No, that's weird. So ask me where I live. I'll stop you.
Over here.
Michelle, you mentioned not remembering much about Tales of Vesperia. Do you remember any of the spell incantations at all?
I'm sorry.
Well, it's because when you recorded it, I mean, you
We
said,
recorded it like 2 years ago.
and you said that you saw that script like that time, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the game, and I remember how much fun it was, and how much I loved playing her, but I don't, and I remember some of the story, the plots, you know, where the story went to, but I don't really remember the specific lines.
And that's an RPG, right? Is that an RPG?
Yeah, so.
Well, with our RPGs, the scripts tend to be, I mean, they're sometimes like 200-something pages long, and so it's very difficult to keep that on, you know, on your brain. So
I did like playing her, though. I thought she was a fun character.
Would you be able to say anything as Rita?
If you bring me something to say,
like candy
like
or
anything
food or
specific. Candy and food,
Yeah.
I'll take bribes.
Cookies?
Is there something specific you would like me to say?
Something that Raven's done that's really stupid, as usual?
Hey, excuse us.
Let's see.
Sorry.
Okay, Raven. I think I've had about enough of you. It's time to go. Let's go.
very great back.
This is for Michelle.
Yes.
You worked in Grid Logon. Did you ever want to do one of those speeches? You didn't get any of these manly, epic, big, long speeches.
You know, I love Yoko.
Yeah, she didn't get anything like
Thank
that.
God. But I did get the emotional, you know, I did get my emotional scene, which is really unusual for anime to have like that deep of an emotional turn in the plot. So I feel like I got mine, even though I didn't get the big long monologue thing.
You know one thing?
What?
Pretty obvious for Grid Logon from No Kill. Just who the hell do you think I am?
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Yeah.
Yeah!